Okay, now that we're in the Mac, let's take a closer look at what the new version can really do. Don't be fooled by the fact that the presentation background is similar to ones that are available now. I simply wanted to use this one to illustrate how you can use any background image, video, or SWF file that you would like to use as a background. Now, just so everyone is clear, all the assets included in this presentation are examples that we repurposed through Google Gadgets to give you an example of how the system works. Now onto the subject of Google Gadgets. For those who are not familiar with Google Gadgets, they are dynamic web content that can be placed on any page on the web. Gadgets can be games, mini applications, news, stocks, sports or weather feeds, maps, really anything you can think of can usually be put into a Google Gadget. The great thing about Google Gadgets is anyone with a free Google account can create and publish them without having to pay for the cost of hosting them like you would with a traditional web page. Google Gadgets are all written in XML and usually have HTML and JavaScript components. Everything we're looking at in this presentation right now is a Google Gadget. Over here on the top left, we have a gadget that can watch a stock all day in real time and show its last price and net change in a pretty impressive yet very simple format. In the top center here, we have some interactive turtles that I can click in their aquarium to supply food for them. And over here on the right, one of the several clocks that are available for free use from clocklink.com. Now our big zone on the left here has a couple of really cool gadgets in it. It has an image slideshow. There are several options for interactive image slideshows similar to our example here that are available on the internet. We also have Google News Stories with images and separate tabs across the top, so you can click on whichever section of news interests you. Remember, since it's a browser, you can click on whatever news story suits your fancy. It opens in a new tab. You just simply close that and come back to your presentation. Also, we have this stocks gadget example that we found. It allows you to select all sorts of stocks to show in real-time data. This specific example is only one of the several gadgets available, all of which are pretty sleek and impressive. You can show stocks, futures, commodities, even bears and bulls. I don't even know what bears and bulls are, but apparently I can show them in my presentation. Now, of the three zones on the right, everybody can recognize the Canvas Scribble Pad, which I showed you before. This is a new feature of HTML5. And below that is the Rise Vision scrolling blog. Now, this scrolling ability was set up through a free community account with fidostyle.com. The great thing about scrolling RSS in an interactive presentation is you can hover over a story that interests you, and you can see that it stops and allows you to click on it, and it opens in another tab. You can read through the blog post and close that tab to return to your presentation. We also have a weather gadget running down on the bottom right. And I don't know about you, but this weather really isn't as impressive as the other gadgets. I mean, seriously, it just sits there. Why don't we add something more exciting, some more exciting weather to this presentation? In fact, why don't I walk you through the whole process of finding a cool weather asset on the web, putting it into a Google gadget, and then getting it into a presentation. Now remember, this is only an example. You need to make sure to check with the content creators to ensure that you can use the assets in this manner. Alright, the first thing we'll do is let's find a cool weather gadget. Luckily, I already found one that I have open in this separate tab here. Now this is a cool animated moving weather gadget that I want to put into my presentation. I'll go ahead and copy the code that's available. And now I'll go to my personal iGoogle homepage. Now on my iGoogle homepage, I have a gadget that I've added called the Google Gadget Editor. Now this gadget is available from Google for free. This allows me to create a gadget on the fly, preview it, and save it in Google Land. I'll just paste the code over to where it says Hello World, and then I'll preview it. Now we can see I have a cool scrolling weather gadget, and that's it. I'm done. All I have to do is save. Oops. And there, I'm done. I've created a Google gadget showing weather. Now wasn't that really easy? Now what I'll do is I'll click on the name, and you'll see it opens up in a separate tab so I can get this XML path for the gadget. Now what I'll do is I'll go into the system, go to the gadgets page, and add it. I'll give it a name. And I'll paste in the URL. Now I'll click Save. And that's it. I'm done. I've entered in my gadget and I've saved it. Now I'll go to my presentation and add this gadget. You can see when we land on the presentation that we are in preview mode. I'll go over to design mode. In design mode, I can see all the individual zones of my presentation that I've created, and I want to add a brand new gadget, so I'll click on Add Content. I'll add a gadget that I called my Cool Scrolling Weather. I'll make it 400 by, let's make it 100 by 400. Okay, and now when I go into preview mode, all I have to do is press save, and then I can see my gadget come up in my presentation. If I want to make it maybe change around the way it looks a little bit, I can just go back to design mode, click on it, pull that over to make it a bit bigger, click OK, go back to preview, and save again. Now my gadget is a bit wider. You can play around with it to get it to be the exact size that you want it to be and put it wherever you want to put it in your presentation. There, wasn't that really simple? We went and found a gadget, added the gadget to the system, put it into the presentation, all in under 5 minutes. Now just to remind everybody, these asset examples that we found on the web that we repurposed through Google Gadgets are just examples to show how the new system works. I hope what I've shown everybody today gets you just as excited about the new system as we are and shows you what's possible for your digital signage network with our upcoming release. I look forward to reading your comments about it in the blog and forum. Thanks for stopping by, but now I have to get back to watching The Simpsons. I mean QA testing.